Okay, let's unpack this. Today we are diving into, well, one of the truly compelling and frankly heartbreaking figures from the Investiture of the Gods, the Feng Shen Yan Yi. We're focusing on Crown Prince Yin Jiao, eldest son of King Zhou.
Yeah, and Yin Jiao's story, it's way more than just a side plot in the Shang dynasty's fall. It's this perfect, really tragic collision of fate, family loyalty, and just pure rage. For you listening, getting Yin Jiao is kind of key to understanding the whole moral complexity of the Fengshen story itself.
Absolutely. When we first meet him in the sources, he's like the dream successor. The texts say he was naturally smart, amazing at martial arts, and the people loved him. They really saw him as a future enlightened ruler, a Mingjun. His whole thing was righteousness, filial piety, Renjiao Zengji.
He stood for virtue, for stability, a total contrast to his father,
Yeah.
King Zhu, who was just spiraling, right? Mostly because of Daji's manipulations.
Right.
And that's exactly where Yin Zhao's world starts to crumble. Daji gets jealous, and that leads directly to the death of his mother, the virtuous Queen Jiang.
And boom, the queen's gone. And suddenly the crown prince is tangled up in all this court intrigue. He has no choice but to flee Chaosh, the capital. He goes from this golden prince to essentially a fugitive overnight. And that escape, that really kicks off a massive change in his character arc.
Definitely. We're shifting gears here, moving from the very corrupt human world of the court into the realm of immortals and celestial power.
Okay, so section 1, flight, finding fortune, and this incredible power-up. So he escapes.
Right, as a fugitive. But he's secretly helped by Bigon, remember him, the loyal minister?
Ah, yes.
Yin Jiao heads for the mountains, seeking safety, basically, from his father's chaotic rule.
And this escape into the mountains leads to a kind of, well, spiritual upgrade, doesn't it? He runs into someone pretty important.
Hugely important. He encounters Guangchengzi, a really powerful immortal from the Chan school, and Xianren.
Okay, but why does Guangchengzi take him in? I mean, that's a big deal for an immortal master. What did he see in this, grieving, hunted prince?
Well, Guangchengzi looked past all that. The sources say he saw the prince's, pure heart, Jindi Renho. And his potential was obvious. Guji Qingqi, remarkable bone structure, essentially meaning innate quality. The master knew this kid was destined for something big, royal, or maybe even celestial.
So Yin Jiao starts this intense training, learning Shinan Fo, these immortal methods, advanced warfare tactics, Bing Fo, and the deeper philosophy, the way of heaven, Tian Dao.
And this is critical, the ethics of the training. Guangchengzi wasn't just forging a super soldier, he was trying to shape a leader. He kept hammering home that Yin Jiao must act with benevolence and righteousness, Ren Yu Wei Ben. And crucially, don't forget the people, Wu Wang Zong Sheng.
Right.
The whole point was to prepare him to help manage this necessary shift in power, the mandate of heaven, not to, settle personal vendettas.
Which makes what happens next even more dramatic. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. The transformation. It's spectacular, almost over the top.
Oh, completely. It's like a physical manifestation of the raw power he's being given. He eats a celestial being, a Jiandu.
Just one bean.
Seems like it. And suddenly he develops 3 heads, 6 arms, and 3 eyes. He's not just human anymore. He's become this walking engine of combat power.
Whoa, okay. And with that kind of upgrade, he needs the gear to match, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the arsenal Guangchengzi gives him. These aren't your average battlefield tools.
Not at all. These are artifacts, cosmic level stuff. His master gives him the soul-falling Beluhunzong, the male-female sword Xizhangjian, the Fan Tian Yin, that's a legendary halberd, and the big one, the Heaven-Clipping Seal, the Fan Tian Yin.
We'll pause on that one, the Heaven-Flipping Seal. The sources make it sound like it can, well, flip heaven, or at least shake the earth. What's the deal with it?
It's incredibly potent. Sometimes it's described as being made from part of Mount Kunlun itself, the sacred mountain home of the immortals. When he throws it, it's not just about physical impact. It represents this inescapable, crushing weight of destiny, divine judgment, almost, which is deeply ironic given that Yin Jiao was supposed to be using it to uphold that very judgment.
That's immense power, immense responsibility.
Yes.
He's got the transformation, the artifacts, the divine mission from his master, which leads us right into section 2, the choice, the betrayal, and the tragic consequences on the battlefield.
Exactly. The scene is set. The Zhou forces under Jiang Ziya are mobilizing against the Shang. Guangchengzi gives Yin Jiao his orders. Go down, help Zhou, support the mandate of heaven, save the people from your tyrannical father. Clear instructions.
But all that training, all those ethical lessons from a top-tier immortal, just poof, gone after one conversation, that seems Fast. How does that even happen? Was there a weakness there?
It highlights the incredible persuasive or maybe manipulative power of Shen Gongbao. He's the master spoiler in this whole epic.
Shen Gongbao.
Oh,
Always turning up to cause trouble.
always. And he targets Yin Jiao's precise vulnerability, his very human attachment to his family. Shen Gongbao basically Guho misleads, bewitches the prince. He plays right into that sense of filial duty and rage.
So despite the 3 heads and 6 arms, he's still fundamentally human deep down, driven by grief and anger.
Absolutely. Shen Gongbao twists the knife, reminds him about his murdered mother, Queen Jiang, and then delivers the killer blow. Tells him his younger brother, Yin Hong, has also been killed by the Zhou forces.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's it. That duty to avenge his family, especially his brother, it just completely eclipses the cosmic mission instantly. He betrays his master, switches sides, and joins the Shang army. His new goal, revenge.
You can almost understand it, can't you? From a purely human perspective.
Yeah.
Misguided, catastrophically so, but driven by something deeply relatable. Grief, loyalty to blood.
Which makes him incredibly dangerous to the very people he was trained to help. And his impact on the battlefield is immediate and terrifying.
He doesn't hold back, does he, that Heaven-Flipping Seal?
Yeah.
He just starts wrecking the Zhou army with it.
Totally devastating. He captures major figures like Huang Feiyu and his son Huang Tiano, important Zhou generals. He even manages to wound Neza, and Neza's no pushover. For a while, Yin Jiao seems unstoppable.
His immortal training turned him into this elite weapon, now pointed in the wrong direction. The mandate of heaven turned back on itself.
But that kind of chaos fighting against the ordained flow of destiny, it can't last.
His identity gets figured out eventually, right? By Yang Jian.
Yeah, the ever-perceptive Yang Jian sees through it. And eventually, Yin Jiao is cornered, defeated by the combined spiritual power of Jiang Ziya and another major immortal figure, Ran Deng Daoren.
But the way he actually dies, this is the part that always gets me. It's the ultimate irony. All that power, 3 heads, 6 arms, Heaven-Flipping Seal.
And he's not struck down by some grand celestial blast or a rival artifact.
No, he's killed on the battlefield by a regular soldier. Wuji, using, what was it? A plow.
A simple farming tool. A zhengli. A
Yep.
plow.
It's just, wow, the contrast. Trained by immortals for divine war, undone by basic human manipulation, and killed by a tool representing the very people, the populace, he was sent to save.
It says so much about the narrative's values, maybe. Earthly loyalties, human failings, ultimately grounding even celestial power.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3.
Yeah.
His legacy. All these contradictions. And what happens after his death? What did Guangchengzi, his master, make of it all? Did he just write him off?
No, and Guangchengzi's reaction is really telling. He laments, saying something like, "This child wasn't wicked, just misled by false words. Shizi ben fei eren, jibe wang yan suo wu." The master sees the core purity, recognizes he was driven by filial piety, but his judgment was just poisoned by Shen Gongbao.
So that's the core of Yin Jiao. He's trapped, isn't he? Loyal to his father, King Zhu Dui Fu Wangzong, even though Zhu is the villain. Desperate to avenge his mother, Dui Mu Qinxiao. Respectful to his master, Dui Shifu Jing, but ultimately swayed by lies and his own grief.
He's the archetype of the tragic hero in this story, a righteous man pushed by circumstance, by duty, by vengeance into becoming, well, a traitor. His whole story is about failing to balance those loyalties correctly. Cosmic justice versus family revenge. He chose family.
And yet, even after that betrayal, that violent death, the Feng Shen universe has this system of rewards, right? The investiture itself. His fundamental nature wasn't ignored.
Exactly. That's the crucial resolution here. Despite failing so spectacularly on the battlefield, when Jiang Ziya performs the great investiture of the gods, Yin Jiao gets a position. He is enshrined.
As what's his divine title?
He's appointed as the God of the Year's sovereign grand commander, the Zin Nian Sui Jun Tai Sui Shen.
Tai Sui, that rings a bell. That's a big deal in Chinese cosmology, isn't it? The Tai Sui star, Jupiter. It governs the year's fortune.
A huge deal. The Tai Sui is basically the celestial body believed to influence luck, fortune, misfortune, the whole direction of fate for that specific year. Being the sovereign grand commander puts Yin Jiao in charge of that incredibly important aspect of cosmic timing and destiny.
Okay, hold on. So the man whose entire tragic life was defined by making the wrong choice at the wrong time, by being caught in the gears of fate. He now becomes a god who governs fate and timing.
That's the profound irony and perhaps the wisdom of it. If you zoom out, Yin Jiao's story reinforces a central theme in Feng Shen. Even if heroes stumble, even if they die tragically, their core virtues like loyalty and filial piety ultimately lead to a positive outcome, as Zheng Guo. His enshrinement shows that his inherent righteousness, though terribly misguided, was ultimately recognized and rewarded. Zheng Dao Sui Qua or Zong de Zhao Zeng. Righteousness might bend, but it doesn't break. It eventually shines through. He represents virtue, even in failure.
So wrapping up Yin Jiao's journey, it really is this ultimate gut-wrenching clash of loyalties. You have this righteous prince given incredible celestial power, only to be forced into this impossible choice. Avenge his murdered family or follow the divine mission given by his master.
His power was immense, his weapons legendary. Yet he was completely undone by Shen Gongbao playing on his grief.
And his cosmic, powerful existence snuffed out by a common plow. Just incredible.
The highest highs, the lowest lows, and then this final, eternal cosmic role that, in a way, redeems his core virtue.
Which leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? Given Yin Jiao's power, that righteous heart everyone saw in him, his master's belief. What if?
What if he hadn't listened to Shen Gongbao?
Yeah. What if he'd managed to put that mandate of heaven, that bigger picture, above the immediate burning need for revenge for his brother?
Could he have actually succeeded in his original mission, avoided death, maybe even changed the course of the war entirely, and perhaps been spared the irony of overseeing the very fate that played him so tragically?
Something for you to think about. Could one different choice have changed everything for Crown Prince Yin Jiao?